Hi, Fluster Cluck here with the video on how to assemble your brand new Bont Athena plates. We're going to start off with a bare plate. This is as delivered. First thing we're going to do is lay out all of our parts so that we can easily see them, easily grab them, and we're just going to get right into it by grabbing a hold of one of our kingpins. I've already installed the kingpin lock nut on the end of this. We're going to go ahead and get that threaded into the plate. We don't want to put this in all the way, and we also don't want to have it sticking out too far. So the best way to check to see if we have the right length sticking out is to actually assemble this. We just need to check the height right now, so it doesn't matter if the truck is in properly right now. We've got the last washer on. We're going to take the adjuster nut and we're just going to put this on here, check our length, and if you look right here you can see I have close to one thread that's still visible on the nut. When we're hand tight, that lets me know that we're at about the right height for these cushions and this plate. So I'm going to go ahead and take everything else back off. To get the other kingpin, get the nut on there, and then just use the one that we already have to check the length on the new one. So just adjust this nut so that we are pretty much exactly the same. Then I'll go ahead and install this one. Careful not to spin it too much and have that nut come out of adjustment. Alright. Just take a pretty close look. I'll count the amount of threads I have here and the threads I have here and make sure that it looks about the same. And that is pretty much bang on. So I will take my 16mm wrench and I'm going to tighten those lock nuts down to make sure that my kingpins don't come loose while I'm skating. And then I can go ahead and assemble this stuff. Front truck, rear truck, cushion, cushion. As I'm doing this, I'm going to double check to make sure that it looks like nothing has moved. Those still look the same. If you want to, you can totally double check this with a tape measure and make sure the measurement is exactly the same. Normally when I do it, I use a set of calipers to get it exactly. It's not super important, but if you have them set exactly the same, it'll be easier to just look at where your nut is to tell how tight your cushions are. If one is a lot longer than the other one, it's going to be pretty difficult to remember kind of where you had everything set up. So I try to get this stuff set all exactly the same. The washers. Go ahead and put that nut back on. And then, before we're ready to go skating, we have to use our locking screws that go into the end of the kingpin. Just get these started by hand. Take my 4mm Allen head, get those a little bit tighter. And you can go ahead and adjust the cushions to however tight you want them with a 17mm wrench on the top. So tighten them to get them more tight, loosen them to get them more bendy, and then once you have them set to where you want, you go ahead and take your 4mm and snug those up so your kingpin nuts don't come loose. And that's it. Installed and assembled Athena plates.